fight that's going a little bit under the radar at the moment is Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker. Now, this is probably partially because both of them aren't necessarily big talkers. Also, you have got quite a lot of big fights going on in the division at the moment, with Fury and AJ talks kind of taking off. We did recently have Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz fight. Deontay Wilder's kind of announced his return. And then in the lower weights, we do have some big fights going on with Triple G and Canelo facing off for the third time, amongst some other fights. So yeah, this one's gone a little bit under the radar. I don't think the promotion for it's been kind of stellar necessarily. But yeah, that coupled with the fact that they're both not really big talkers. In fact, they recently released a Gloves Are Off episode with Carl Frampton kind of interviewing the both of them, and it wasn't great. Like, I don't know if they were kind of joking or whatever, but there was kind of like a final message at the end, and then Joseph Parker was like, "I'm going to beat you up," and then Joyce was like, "I'm going to beat you up more," and it just was so cringe. You can tell they like each other, really, and there's no beef to be had there. But yeah, it was kind of pretty drab watch. They did keep on kind of cutting between the kind of the face-off and kind of Frank Warren talking to an interviewer. I think they knew that it wasn't really a fast-flowing kind of interesting kind of face-off, that one, so they had to kind of mix it up a little bit with some kind of one-on-one interviews. But regardless, this is a good fight. It's a meaningful fight for the number one position. And they will be kind of up there as front runners to face either Usyk or Fury, or maybe the belts will fragment and they'll end up being kind of gifted a title. So I wanted to cover some of the keys for victory I had for Joe Joyce in this fight, because it's one that I'm kind of going back and forth on quite a lot in terms of who I think is going to win. Because Joe Joyce at the moment seems completely unstoppable, just kind of juggernauting through everyone. Parker, he's got pedigree, he's very fast hands, good kind of boxing fundamentals and decent power, and looks revitalised under his new kind of training regime. However, there are negatives for both. Joyce gets hit an awful lot and is very kind of slow with the hand speed, and Parker, although very fast hand speed, he has kind of shown a little bit of kind of mental fragility maybe in fights, where he's kind of looked a little bit uninterested, or if things get a bit tough or aren't going his way, he's maybe a little bit out of ideas. I'm thinking of the AJ fight and the Dillian Whyte fight, where Dillian Whyte just bullied him and AJ was just controlling him, and Parker just didn't have anything else to do. He didn't really know what to do. Was that because it was a bigger guy? I don't know. If it was a kind of a smaller man, less reach, would he be more adept at kind of adapting in that situation? We will see. Point number one, key to victory number one, is strong jab. So Joe Joyce showed in his recent fights, specifically the one against Daniel Dubois, that he has a very good jab. Very consistent, very accurate, and very heavy-handed jab. Joyce is one of them people that he clearly, he doesn't have to work on his body mass. He is a big guy, and he's naturally very heavy-handed. He's not got fast hands. He hasn't got that kind of AJ kind of super fast kind of electric sort of punches, but they're heavy, they're slow, they're thudding, and yeah, they're going to hurt. So a strong jab, I think, is really essential in this fight. Parker's going to be moving fast. He's going to be looking to kind of get in and out of range, and get in, do some work, get back out of danger. So Joyce really needs to get behind the long jab and kind of control Parker's movement a bit. Try and manoeuvre him around the ring, get him into a corner of the ring, so he can unload some of his kind of combination punches. Because I think against the ropes is where Joyce is going to be the most dangerous, because he doesn't have the fastest feet. He needs to kind of manoeuvre him into the corners. Doesn't have the fastest hands either. Well, certainly not the fastest hands. So if he can kind of get him into a corner, get him a little bit kind of cornered, so he can't escape in and out of the pocket, then I think that'd be really, really important to him. So a strong jab will enable him to do that. Key to victory number 2, work the body. As I mentioned before, Parker's gas tank has not been the strongest in some of his recent fights. I'm thinking Dillian Whyte fight, again the AJ fight, as well as some other recent fights where he's just not been able to kind of turn it on in the latter stages of the fight. Even against Derek Chisora in the second fight where he kind of beat him bloody. If he'd been able to kind of turn up the heat a little bit later on, surely he could have got him out of there. So I think it's going to be important for Joyce to work the body early, get Parker's feet kind of slowed down as quickly as he can. Joyce has a very, very good gas tank, can throw a lot of punches. So if he can get some body work in there nice and early, prioritise the body before the head. Parker's got good fundamentals. He's going to be moving his head. He's going to be kind of moving on his feet quite a lot. So slow him down. The sooner the better. And then Joyce can kind of get his work away, his kind of slower work, but slower and heavier handed work, I would say. Key to victory number 3, high tempo. Again, Joyce has got an amazing gas tank, incredible, as well as this kind of granite chin, which is one of the reasons why he's kind of such a unstoppable force, it seems, at the moment. I think a high tempo is going to be really important. Joyce has this tendency to start quite slow and he takes a lot of punches early, which is a concern for me, for him in this fight. He may have an iron chin, but you don't want it tested, especially too early in a fight where you can be caught cold a little bit. So yeah, set a nice high tempo to start with. You know you've got the gas tank that you can trust to see you through a fight at a decent pace. Parker, again, doesn't have the best gas tank. You know, he's good for the first 6-7 rounds, but after that you will see him drop off. So again, the sooner he can kind of deplete Joseph Parker's gas tank, the better. And then the final key to victory is just Juggernaut. Just be Joe Joyce. Don't try and overcomplicate things. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, Joyce has got good fundamentals. He's kind of unorthodox. He's not super coordinated. But he's not a bad boxer. I mean, he's an Olympic medalist, should have been gold medalist, but got the silver. You know, good amateur background. You've seen how he's kind of quickly run through the heavyweight ranks and got into this position. So yeah, just be yourself. That doesn't mean go in there and take a ridiculous amount of punches to the chin early, but move forward, high guard, jab, get him into the corners, unleash them combinations, go to the body, go to the head, mix it up. Just be the Juggernaut, because Joseph Parker's shown when the going gets tough, he doesn't like it. I.e. Dillian Whyte fight, where he was, I mean, there was a headbutt in there, and who knows how much that affected him, but ultimately, when it got tough, he really didn't enjoy it. And then again, further evidence: Derek Chisora, the first fight, got kind of ragdolled all over the place again, like the Dillian Whyte fight, and didn't like it. Got knocked down early in that fight as well, and maybe never really fully got his composure back. So yeah, be Juggernaut. You know, push him around, no niceties. Go to the body, go to the head, be a wrecking ball, wrecking machine, and do what you do best. Keep it simple. So yeah, they are my 4 keys to victory for the Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker fight. This isn't a prediction. This isn't me saying Joyce is going to win and these are the reasons why. These are just things I think he needs to work on and needs to be actively doing within the fight to give himself the best chances. I'll be doing another keys to victory for Joseph Parker. And then closer to the fight, probably post weigh-in, I will do a prediction. I might do it before the weigh-in because both these guys are fairly reliable in terms of their weights. I wanted to do the Usyk and Anthony Joshua prediction post weigh-in because both of them, it was a little bit of an unknown what they were going to come in at, and it was going to maybe dictate my prediction. So yeah, we'll see a little bit closer to the time. But yeah, there will be a Parker keys to victory and a kind of pre-fight prediction. So yeah, I will catch you in the comments and see you later.